Hello everyone, it's me, that divination witch. I hope you're doing well. Back with another witchy video, and I am going to be talking about Hecate, our favourite person. And I'm addressing something I've addressed in the past, but with a new and fresh perspective to hopefully give some more insight as to things that I've changed my perspective on and my perception on, and that's to do with Hecate and the Qliphoth. And does she truly initiate people into this? You may not even know what the Qliphoth is, but we're going to get into it all. So let's go. Now, if you are new here, just want to say hello and welcome. My name's Sarah. I go by that divination witch, and I hope you stick around. This is a safe space that I've set up so we can all have a talk and you can ask questions. Anything you want to know, put it in the comments. No question's a silly question. If you would like to support my channel further, I do have a link tree just below as well with a shop and a Patreon, and I'd be so grateful if you could check it out because that helps me do what I do. So thank you. Ages ago, and I'm talking over a year ago, maybe two, I can't remember the precise time, but I did a video talking about Hecate and the Qliphoth, and I said my point of view, my stance on things, and I said it how it was at the time, what I thought and felt. But my perception on things has changed, and I want to explain this. If you have found this video through the Qliphoth, through that terminology, then, well, you're my target audience, I suppose. But I will explain for everybody else. In Jewish mysticism, in the teachings of Kabbalah, there is such a thing as the Tree of Life, otherwise known as the Sephiroth. And the Sephiroth is made up of different spheres, and these spheres embody different qualities. And as a person, a spiritual person, you can do some path working through the spheres, and the idea is to ascend to the top being the closest thing to heaven, to source, to God, to enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. And it is, like I say, a spiritual path that you can go down. It's a way of working through your issues, working through things, and, connecting with source, enlightening yourself. Because ultimately, no matter what spiritual path you're on, from whatever culture or religion or whatever, the ultimate goal is all of us to do better, to be more enlightened, to be more at one with whatever it is we believe in. That's the ultimate deal. So you have this Tree of Life, and that reflects things and different lessons you've got to work through, spheres of heaven, to put it like that, because it is ruled over by angels, angelic beings, like Raphael and Michael as some of them off the top of my head. And then you have the flip side, because as above, so below, where there is light, there is dark. And the flip side is called the Qliphoth, which is the Tree of Death. And it is the same thing reversed. They, instead of spheres, are called husks, and it's a theory that they're both kind of like the same thing, but the Tree of Death is the husk that encircles the sphere. Basically, it's a mirror image, but a darker image of the heavenly spheres. It's the hellish spheres. It is the Tree of Death. It is the flip side, and it's ruled over by demonic forces and energies, such as Lilith. She's one of them, and many others, Asmodeus off the top of my head. But they are yin and yang. They're two sides of the same coin, and to do one is to acknowledge the other. It doesn't matter if you are on a light path or a dark path or whatever. They cannot exist without the other. They need each other to exist, such as everything, I suppose. They are balance. They are divine balance. And with the Qliphoth, it's popularized, especially within the left-hand path, within demonology, within these sort of, occult circles, let's say. And if you put that term into YouTube, you'll get a million videos up about it. And sadly, there is a lot of edgelordy people who have jumped on the Qliphoth trend. And it's like, choo choo, we're on the Qliphoth train. Next stop, the void. It's giving people that aren't so enlightened, to be honest with you. There's a lot of misinformation out there about it. Therefore, with misinformation comes this edgelordy, ego-driven persona of people who say all sorts of stories for the internet to basically come across like they're this big badass and have done everything and know everything and can slay you and work with demons and all that. That's so cool. That's the vibe. It's giving immature, living in your mommy and daddy's spare bedroom still. That's what it's giving. But I digress. Hecate is not found in the Qliphoth, and I still stand by that. That's why I made that original video, because there are some edgelordy people who say that Hecate forced them into the Qliphoth and tell all these silly stories about it, essentially. It's like using Mother's name, Hecate's name, for clout. It's using the term Qliphoth for clout, to be honest. And not everyone, but a lot of occultists online do that. Whether it's the Qliphoth, whether it's a certain demon, they do it to be badass. And same with Love and Lighters as well. They do it to be badass in their own way. There is a lot of ego-driven, egocentric people out there. And that's why I made the original video, and why I said in my original video, what are you talking about? Hecate has nothing to do with the Qliphoth, and she does not initiate you onto it. And I was very adamant about that. Now I'm still very adamant that she's got nothing to do with it, as in, she is not part of Jewish mysticism. She is not named on any of the spheres of the Qliphoth, or the Sephiroth for that matter. She is not found in any of the texts about it, however ancient. But does that mean she can't initiate you onto it if that is something you want to do as your own personal spiritual path? No. And that's where my point of view changes. Hecate is known as an initiatory goddess. The reason for this is her torchbearer aspect, because that is a very important part of who she is. She's a guide to lost souls, whether they be living or dead. Those lost souls, it does not matter what religion you're from, what ethnic background you're from, if you believed in her in life or not, if you're an edgelordy left-hand path or a love and lighter, it does not matter. She can help anybody. And this is something I've come to learn. And that's why I'm making this video. Technically, she could put somebody on the path of the Qliphoth. And that's a mere technicality. If she is your main goddess in life and your guide, and that is your destiny, that is your spiritual path to do that, then yes, she can initiate you onto it. On the flip side, she could initiate you onto the Sephiroth, the Tree of Life. And that is to do with angels in heaven, the polar opposite, but she can still get you there. She could initiate you onto whatever path and to whichever deity, if that is your destiny, if that is for your highest good, if that is to truly help you and to stop you being lost and clueless and wandering, then yes, she can initiate you onto it, because that is what makes her an initiatory goddess. But for these clout-chasey people who say that she forces people into it, who say that she's a part of it, BS. She is not a part of it. Stop trying to make her into something she isn't. Now, there's a whole path of people that believe she is a queen of hell. And I've spoke about this before on this channel. There's a grimoire out there that's very popular, pretty expensive as well, that talks about this. And they argue that she's a queen of hell because she is so primordial and a creation goddess, a creatrix, that she birthed chaos, hell, Lucifer, the demons, etc. That could be a technicality, potentially. Do I believe it wholly? No. Because as much as she's a queen of hell, she is also a queen of heaven. She has dominion over the sky, the earth, the seas, everything. She, doesn't matter what mythology you look into about her, she is a wanderer. She is so primordial, if you've ever felt her energy, that yes, I could see her as a creator, as a creatrix. She's that ancient and old. She's the divine feminine. So by that stance, potentially, she could have created those things and those beings, but she could also create light. Whereas there is dark, there is light. And everything was born from chaos at one point. The Greeks even called it chaos, called her chaos, actually. The first goddess was chaos. And a lot of mythologies say this as well. And a lot of theories say this. Look at the Big Bang. Can't get more chaotic than that, can you? Things were born out of that. And if Hecate is a personification of that, then fair enough. But as for her being a demoness, a queen of hell, a ruler over Lucifer and demons and the Qliphoth, etc., that's a big no. And I stand by that. And on this technicality as well, I've come to learn it's not just Hecate that can initiate you onto this Qliphoth, if that is your path. Odin could, by all intent and purpose, he could do the same thing. Any deity could. If they are your deity, and if that is meant to be, it will happen. They will guide you and initiate you onto that path. I'm making this video to clear up my previous video and to clear up the misinformation and to hopefully shed light on the situation in her name. Because I've been asked this a few times, and there's certain people who I know in the spiritual circles I'm in who are interested in the Tree of Life, the Qliphoth, etc., and are finding so much misinformation. And I just wanted to clear this up, that no, she is not part of it, but she can get you onto it. And it's as simple as that. Stop trying to make it into something it's not. And I'm going to say, Regina, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. That was a Mean Girls reference. But it's true. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. Okay? So, yes, for all Hecate is a dark goddess, she is also of the light. She's the torchbearer. She's the life bringer. She was the goddess of childbirth too. She's the goddess of the liminal space. That doesn't just mean death and bad things. It means good things too. It means life. It means giving life. She's everything. And that's the tea. So I hope this helped anyone out there who might be questioning this, because there's so much out there about her, and there are people of so many cultures. Before filming, I thought, right, I'm going to have a look on YouTube. What's the most popular videos about Hecate? There are a lot of mantras from Indian creators about Hecate. That blows my mind. That is so amazing. There are a lot of prayers and things like this from other cultures. She is multicultured. She is multifaceted. She doesn't discriminate. She doesn't care where you're from, who you are, sort of thing. She doesn't. But she's also not just limited to one little niche box, you know? So that goes to show to me, if somebody who is creating mantras for her can do so, all right, then she can initiate someone at the Qliphoth as well. But so can many other deities. So yes, that's the video. I hope it helped. If you've got any other questions, put them in the comments. If you want to learn anything more about Hecate, please give me a subscribe, give me a follow. I've got a playlist all about her. And if you've got anything you want to know about her, well, let me know. And until next time, stay safe, stay witchy. Bye.